What should I do with my life?
Hang out with me.
More and more people are asking now, more than ever before, actually.
Okay, enter Suzy Welch. She's the author of 3 New York Times bestsellers and a professor at NYU Stern School of Business, and she's our guru.
In fact, she teaches one of the most popular classes at the university. It's called Becoming You, Crafting the Authentic Life You Want and Need. And the professor is here to give us a crash course with her new hairdo.
Suzy,
By the
we
way,
love it.
Suzy, we've known you for years. You've had the same look.
Yes.
They say a girl who changes her hair is changing her life. Do you feel like you've got something new happening?
I am doing all sorts of new things.
How fun is that?
It was a big deal because I have had the same hair since 7th grade.
Yeah.
And then I was like, one morning I woke up and I thought,
Enough.
I'm going to
cut it
so
off.
I do like it. I mean, this was the moment of truth for me, was whether or not you guys signed off on it.
We're into it.
We love
Okay,
it.
so we were just talking, there's an
Yes.
epidemic of purposelessness.
Yes, yes.
Talk to us about what's happening.
Well, recent statistics show that there really is, especially among young people, but not just young people, this sense of purposelessness. What am I doing with my life? And I think one of the reasons is the pandemic raised a whole bunch of questions that have not yet been answered for most people about where we work, how we work, why we work. And then there's this sort of pace of technology, and people don't even know if their jobs are going to exist in the future. And this all has led to kind of a cultural moment where people are saying, I don't want to wait till I'm 65 to have the life of my dreams. I want to have it now. I want meaning. I want purpose now.
I think a lot of people wonder if they're living their purpose, because I think there are a lot of people watching who are doing jobs that they need.
Yes.
They need insurance and to pay the bills. But is that their purpose? So is your course about how do you go about finding what your purpose should be?
Right. This is exactly what my course is about. And when I launched it a few years ago, I thought, well, will anybody take this class? But it ended up there was a hunger, a thirst for people to figure out their purpose younger, okay, and people who are students. But it's everywhere, this thirst for purpose. And so the way we go at it is I have a theory that I teach, which is that your purpose lies at the intersection of what you want to do with your life, what you can do because of your talents and skills and competencies inborn and trained in, and what you should be doing because the world will reward you for it, because after all, we have to buy groceries and support ourselves. And so it's at this intersection of your values, that's the want part, your aptitudes, that's the can part, what you're uniquely good at, right? And what you should be doing is called this opportunity, what part of the economy is growing that calls you intellectually and emotionally. I mean, AI is growing, but it may not be calling you. And so at that intersection, we call this your area of transcendence. And the class is about finding your own personal area of transcendence. It's a journey, I'll tell you.
Okay, you have this exercise, which is really exciting. It's called the Alpha Omega exercise, and you're going to actually take us through it so that people at home can do it too.
Yes, really values. This is one of the exercises we use to excavate your values. A lot of people, don't actually know their values, or they sort of have put them aside because they're living by their family's values, or they just don't have time to go into it, or it's a little scary to know your values and then say, I'm not living by them, right? And so we do 7 exercises to excavate your values, and this is one of my favorite ones, and we'll do it together.
Okay.
All right, so it's 3 questions, and the first question, it goes to what your character values. What person do you want to be? How do you want to show up in the world? And the question is, when you're not in the room, what do you want people to say about you? What do you want people to say about you when you're not in the room?
Oh, you're asking us?
Yes.
Okay, I think I want them to say about me that I felt better about myself when she was there, when she was in the room.
I feel like people say that.
I think everyone says that.
What about for you?
I hope that I just make people feel seen.
Yeah.
Right.
You do.
And so I would say for both of you, this to me would represent a value of impact, of empowering others. And I think everyone who watches the show says, well, this is exactly what you're doing. So this is a very good sign. I mean, people may have this value. I want to make people seen. I want to empower people, and not be living it because their job's not allowing them to. And this would definitely be a disconnect from your purpose, okay?
Right.
But you can still live that without it being
day
your
in
job.
and day out.
You can, but if you're only doing it on the margins, does that feel good? If you're only doing it 1 hour a day instead of giving your life over to it, because there are some jobs that allow you to look. Maybe you're just in the wrong role. Maybe you're in operations, but you should be in HR. Right. So the second question is, if you fast forward to one of your birthdays in the far distant future, my students who I teach are quite young, but say your 80th birthday, what would make you cry from regret? Now, this is about the legacy that you want to leave. I mean, how do you want to change the world, if at all? Because for some people, that's not a value, and for others, it's a really big value. So this is about your impact, your legacy. Okay, so if you go forward to this birthday of the future, and you're imagining it, what would make you cry from regret?
Probably something like my kids.
Me too.
Yeah,
Yes.
my kids
Me too. Not
thought
spending enough time
I
with
wasn't
my
there
kids,
enough.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is about a value around family, and not just that, but how much intimacy you want with your family.
Yeah.
Because we all have family as a value generally. Most people do. And the question is, let's get into it more deeply. Let's get more granular. How much time do you want? Which trade-offs are you willing to make?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and then finally, the last question.
The last one is to think back to your childhood and ask yourself, what did I love about my childhood and what didn't I love? And this really speaks to your lifestyle values. How do you want to live? Where do you want to live? And a lot of times we end up living with the stuff we didn't like about our childhood. But this is really about that. What did you love about your childhood and what didn't you love?
We're out of time. No, but I think these are really interesting questions to dig into.
They really are. They really are.
And one of the things that is amazing about you is that if you want more of this, which I think everybody does, that you offer a free webinar.
I do.
Live.
Go to my website, SuzyWelch.com. Sign up for a free webinar, totally free, not selling you anything.
How cool is that?
Because why should it? I love NYU, but it shouldn't just be the students at NYU who get to do these exercises.
Brilliant.
And so I like to run people through
Oh my
it.
gosh.
It's live. I'm there. I actually do it, and I stay for questions at the end.
Oh, I love
Suzy,
it.
you're amazing.
Love it.
And
Love
we
it.
love your hair.